Alright, hello and welcome to part 4 of my Let's Play series videos for Dwarf Fortress Adventure Mode. This is Sippy Cup. So my adventure actually ended up dying in the last video, which was a short one. So I'm going to go ahead and start over. If at first you don't succeed, try again. I actually did pretty well. It seemed like I was advancing. I haven't read a lot about how the kind of mission structure works as far as, if you do quests, like do keep getting harder ones, and it kind of seemed like that was the case. I started out killing bandit leaders and things like that, and eventually worked my way up to night creatures, which are things like trolls and etten and things like that, and eventually one of the last things I did was to fight a swamp titan. So in any case, I'm going to start over here. I think I'll try playing a dwarf this time. I've been doing a little bit more reading around. I'm going to be a dwarf demigod. I've been doing a bit more reading around, and some people have suggested that whips, lashes, scourges, etc. are very strong. And I've seen that to be the case, although I don't know if I would say that they're necessarily stronger than any other weapon I've tried, but I figured, what the heck, I'll give it a shot. So we're going to try this time. Again, maxing out agility, and we're going to max out strength. And then put a few points in toughness, endurance, and willpower, and then maybe some more toughness and endurance. Yeah, alright. And then we're going to do something similar to what we did before. It seemed like my fighting skill was going up very quickly when I took it all the way up to master, so I'm going to go down a couple levels and leave some points for other things. So let's go down to, let's say, accomplished fighter, and then I'll be a shield and armor user, a few points in there, and I want to get a apparently interesting. Well, okay, so apparently lasher is not an option for dwarves. Maybe it would be for human. Let's go back and see. Let's be human of Oh yeah, there's lasher. Okay, so let's try this again. Power. Okay, then we'll go take fighter up to about here, and then do a few points in the lasher. Competent, sure, and we'll do a few in shield and armor, at least one in swimmer. And then let's see, what else do I need? Probably want to get some in throwing and napping. And I don't mean napping like taking a snooze. Alright, so what else? Maybe wrestler, 1 point. Sure, this looks fine. Okay, so I've got a guy who is a lasher, fighter, swimmer, shield user, armor user, wrestler, thrower, napper. Okay, so real quick, what is napping? Napping basically refers to sharpening a stone. So I'll try to demonstrate this as soon as I get into the game, but basically involves picking up 2 rocks and then using them to sharpen one of them. So let's see if I can walk around and find a stone to pick up or something here. Nothing to pick up here. You just press G usually when you... Okay, so here's a small dolomite rock. Usually when there's rocks on the ground you can grab a whole bunch of them. So if you notice down in the lower right, my speed is actually getting lower. The more stuff you have in your inventory, the slower you get, which makes sense. You start to become heavily laden with, all the spoils of your conquest. So I'm going to get a bunch of these rocks. And now what you actually need to do is you need to remove them from the container that they're in, and it goes into your hand. So you're going to get a bunch of these rocks out in your hand, and I'm just pressing R and then Q. You can't see my cursor, but it just corresponds to the dolomite rock. And then actually, if I look at my inventory, you should be able to see that I have a lot of rocks somehow in my right and left hand. I don't know how I'm doing it. I assume I'm putting them in between my fingers or something. But let's see, do I have any more rocks? No. Okay, so I got all the rocks in my hands now. So now what I can do is I can press X, and this is kind of, so here you see make sharp rock. And it takes 2 of them, 1 to sharpen it and 1 to get sharp. So let's just keep doing that. We're gonna make sharp rock. Bop bop. Bop bop. This is terribly exciting. I'm gonna pause for a sec while I finish this. Okay, so now you see I have a lot of these sharp dolomite rocks, but they're all still in my hand. I want to get these things out of my hand. So what I need to do is put them inside a container. To put them inside a container, you press P for put. And then I guess I can just start pressing F. Let's see, yeah, sure, P. Annoying. Alright, let me put these all away and I'll pause for a sec. Okay, so now I've just got bronze whip in my right hand, a shield in my left hand, and a whole bunch of dolomites in my bag. So I guess first things first, I want to go ahead and grab a quest, so I'll just go into this house here. Usually, I found that I have good luck with getting peasants to join me for some reason. They always seem to be the most interested in joining my journeys, so I'll greet this guy and then see if he wants to join me. Oh, he says he would rather not. What a jerk. Okay, well, let's see if he has any quests for me then. Particular outlaw, blah blah blah, necromartyrs, etc. etc. Okay. Another lasher. Cool. Alright. So, that guy didn't want to join me. I guess I'll talk to a couple other people and see if there's any other people that would like to join my quest. It seems... This guy said he would rather not. It seems to me, and I may be mistaken, but it seems like the more quests you do, and the more that your renown begins to increase, the more likely people are to want to join your quest. So, I guess for now, I don't know if there's any shops. I haven't actually encountered any shops as long as I've been playing adventure mode in 31.18, so I assume these are just kind of little hamlets that I'm in. You can kind of see there's just, you know, these farmhouses, little plots of, you know, arable land here. But, let's see, what is that here? Alright, anyway, so let's just go ahead and fast travel and we'll get on the road here. So what I want to do is consult my quest log, find out where this is going to be at. Alright, so it looks like I'm fairly close. I just need to go a little bit south-southwest. And it should be, I think it's probably that brown looking rock thing there. Let's see. A little south. That was it. I wonder if it's this. Yeah, it seems to be. Okay, so it's this kind of gold looking thing here. Alright, here's a camp. Alright. So let's just go ahead and get down in there. Now I need to proceed south. Pause for a second till I get in some... Oh, actually it looks like there's somebody right down here. Alright, so here's some people that want to play. So I'm going to try to demonstrate the power of throwing, although my throwing skill is not extremely high. I hope to be able to hit these people a bit. Alright, so I hit that guy and bruised him through his robe. So let's try throwing a little bit more stuff here. Sharp dolomite. I bruised his kidney. That's pretty good. And now he's following me. I fractured his right upper arm bone. Alright, so now I'm just going to go ahead and lash him. I bruised his heart. Ooh, nice. I jammed his bone through his left wrist muscle. That's gotta hurt. Alright, so I'm gonna try to get some distance between me and him now and chuck a few more rocks at him to increase my skill. I missed. Seemed to have dodged out of the way there. Seems to be a spearman that wants some. Throw some more rocks. Bruised his fat. Alright, this guy fell over on the ground and he's writhing in pain, so this might be a good opportunity to whip him somewhere brutal. So let's just go ahead and lash him in the throat. I'm going to lash him with the bronze whip in the throat. Ah, that only bruised him. Maybe I should wrestle him. That's what I'll do. So, oh, just to go over that again. So the way that you do this, to wrestle them, you have to be adjacent to the enemy unit. You're going to press capital A, so hold down Shift, press A. You're going to see at which creature will you aim your attack. You see Enter Wrestles. You need to switch modes. So you press Enter, and now it says which creature will you wrestle. And you can press Enter again to go back to aim attack. Basically the difference is aiming your attack will allow you to aim an attack with any equipped weapon, whereas wrestling will allow you to actually grapple and things. So I want to wrestle. I'm going to grab him with my right. Now see what happens if I grab him with the whip. And grab his throat with the whip. Can I strangle him? Okay, so I have him by the throat with my whip. We're going to try to wrestle him some more. Okay, so it looks like... Okay, so yeah, I don't have any follow-up attacks that I can do. Alright, so I guess... Oh, the other one fell over too. Alright, I guess I'm just going to grab him with my arm. Oops. So let's wrestle. Let's grab him with my right upper arm. We'll grab his throat with my right upper arm. Okay, so now I've got him by the throat with my right upper arm, so basically I've got him in a headlock. Now, if I continue to wrestle him, theoretically, I can choke his throat. Okay, so now you see I place a chokehold on the spearman's throat with your right upper arm. Now I can just continue doing this. Right upper arm, strangle throat. So I'm strangling his throat. Eventually, if I keep doing this, he should pass out. So let me pause for a sec. Alright, so I've determined that wrestling is fucking awesome. I just ripped this guy's ear off, and then, like your parents maybe did to you when you were a kid, when they pretended to steal your nose, I did the same thing, except I actually did steal his nose. I pinched his nose and tore it off of his face, so that's pretty cool, I guess. I'm going to see what other things I can rip off, and then I'll put him out of his misery once my wrestling skill is maxed out and he's about to die. Alright, so we took care of those guys. I softened them up a little bit with whips and then basically just choked the fuck out of them with wrestling skills, so that was fun. Neither one of those guys was a guy I was sent to kill though, so I'm going to collect the throwing stones to reuse them, and then we'll see if we can't kill that person too. So here's what we like to see. I threw a few stones and one of them struck home. I hit him in the upper body and somehow shattered his spine and bruised the nervous tissue. So he lost hold of his whip and fell over. So now he should be pretty easy to dispatch. Let's see. So I found a fun thing to do. Let's see if I can do this right. First thing I'm going to do actually is put away my bronze whip so that I have a hand free. Now I'm going to wrestle him. Oops. I'm going to wrestle him. I'm going to grab with his head with my right hand. I've got his head. Now I'm going to wrestle using the right hand. I'm going to pinch his right eye with my right hand. And that didn't seem to do anything. Let's see if I can pinch his right eye with the right hand. Didn't seem to rip his eye out or anything, but let's keep trying. Okay, I've now gouged both of his eyes out, and I've broken both of his shoulders, so he's basically helpless. If I wanted to be really mean, I guess I could break his ankles and stuff too, but I guess I'll just finish him off. Alright, so he's dead. I lashed him in the head with iron whip that I caused him to drop in the beginning of the fight by hitting him in the spine with a stone, and killed him with his own weapon, so that's always fun. Anyway, yeah, so that was some kind of advanced techniques there with some wrestling as far as taking those guys down quickly. Usually the way I like to approach combat is to throw rocks, hopefully until they go down on the ground, where you have a much easier time wrestling them, and then quickly disable them by breaking joints, putting them in a headlock, stranglehold, ripping out eyes, things like that. It's pretty vicious, but it's effective. Anyway, so that's about it for today. Hopefully this character lasts longer than the old one.